Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to talk about relatively unknown material, and it's silk. And this silk is like pure 100% silk. I live in China, so it's relatively easy for me to get it, but I'm sure that in those sewing shops where you can get those embroidery threads and other stuff for making kimonos and I don't know whatnot, you can get some pure silk too. It comes in really beautiful colors. This one is pink, light pink, and it's great for grayling and obviously other fish, but grayling prefers it, I think. And also they dye it in so many colors. I'm gonna talk about the properties and how to use it, well, how I use it. And it's not the only way or the best way, just how I'm used to do it. I pre-spooled some to this Vivas bobbin, and yeah, I'm gonna use it. It comes in, this thread comes in 3 strands. So for smaller flies I'm gonna use just one. For bigger flies I may use all 3 altogether, but usually I would do it in 1 strand. It's just easier to manipulate for the bigger flies like this. For the smaller flies I'm just gonna cut the length, separate those strands, and that's it. Silk is very sensitive, so if you have rough skin, try to sand it somehow with a nail file or whatever. Deal with it because it can get frayed easily with your rough skin. So yeah, let's get into tying and let's see how it behaves. So I was saying about silk and its properties. So let me explain what I'm showing here. It's very simple. This one here is waxed, and there are a couple of more layers over here. Here I have only 2 layers, but it's waxed slightly. Just one time through the wax, soft. And as you can see, there is no under layer here. It's like on the bare hook, it changed color significantly from the wax and from the hook. This one has no wax. It's like raw as it comes from the package, from the spool. It still has some shine to it. It has white underbody, and it didn't change color at all. As you can find it on the spool, that's what you get on the hook. So that's advantage. This one is waxed. It changed color slightly. It's a little bit darker, but it gains a little bit more resistance for your rough skin. That's also good. It also gets like what you tie on the hook, that's it. It doesn't change anymore. Whereas non-treated, non-waxed silk, when you submerge it in water, it will change. What I mean by that, and yeah, finally, this one is not waxed and it goes directly on the hook without any underbody. Now let me get some water. So I'll just take some tea and I'll just wet everything. Okay, I untied this one, but you can see that the hook shows through. The one that's treated with wax doesn't change color. The one that's not treated with wax doesn't change our color either, but it has white underbody. So basically, the one here that you can see, it's not treated, but it has black underbody. It will show, it will darken, and that's the thing that you should look after. The one that's been treated with wax and it's on the hook just gets a little bit translucent, as you can see it. You can't, like, if you pull a little bit more onto it, it gets this super dark shade. If you don't cinch on it, it gets this like a little bit lighter shade. That's all. So kind of 4 different effects that you can get with your silk, but this holds true for most of the threads that are floss-like. So silk or rayon or whatever you get for this. Some threads change color, some threads don't. So before you tie a fly, just make sure what properties of your thread are. Now let's get into some tying of some nice grayling nymph. As you may have noticed in some of my previous videos, I pre-prepared those bodies with some GSP thread and some super glue, and then when I need something I just tie onto it. So basically I'm just gonna show you how I pre-prepare my silk. Now This one comes in 3 strands, as I said in the introduction. I'll just take a length of it and take one strand. Now, if you don't wax the silk, this is the effect you're getting. Kind of shiny and beautiful. If you wax your silk, well, first let me show you how to do it. I have some soft wax, it's dubbing wax, and I'll just go one time, then I'll reverse it, and one part that was in my hand, I'll just pull that one through my hands. I'll just go try to rub the wax into the silk. That's it, a couple of times, and now I have my silk prepared. Quite easy, yeah? I'll take Semperfli Nano Silk. You can hear the squeaking sound. It's also waxed. I have some wax on my vise. You also notice that the hook is upside down, so I can reach very near when I need to, especially when I'm applying dubbing, without getting stabbed. Now, because I want to wrap silk in the direction of wrapping the thread, I want to wrap wire in the opposite way. So when I wrap wire, it's going to be towards me, under and over towards me. What I mean by that is that I need to place the wire on my near side when the hook is positioned like this, so the wire will go under the hook, missing the tails and not misplacing them. I'm gonna use flat wire in pink. It's darker than the, let me just show you. So I'm gonna use this flat wire. It's a little bit darker than the silk, and it's just here for the protection. That's why I'm matching the color. So I'll just place it on my near side, and with flat thread I'm gonna just cover the whole body of the fly. Now I'm just gonna try not to cover anything here, and as you noticed, I didn't catch anything at her ear. I'm gonna catch it here, so I can do whatever I want. I can come with silk as close as I want to the tails, and so on and so on. So basically what I want to do is here, I'm just gonna cover the body, and you can see it's frayed a little bit. Now if your hands are rough, it's gonna be even more frayed. Avoid a hook point like a plague. That's the sharpest thing you can have in the whole process. So I'm gonna go all the way to the tails. I'm gonna try to cover it, the underbody, and now as you can see it's like layer, it's wide, meaning it's flat. Okay, I'm gonna slightly overlap as I tie towards the bead. Take your time, you don't have to rush. And you can see that there are no frayed parts anymore because I went into more waxed part, obviously. Now if I want to create some taper, I can do it now, and I'm getting it a little bit darker, and I'm gonna just come back now, one more wrap, and then in relatively open turns with flat silk I'm coming back, keeping flat profile, and you can notice there is a gap over here, and that's okay. I'll just take one more turn just in case. Now the wire goes the opposite way to reinforce everything, although not very important on this pattern. A couple of wraps over the wire, and then fold back, break it off. That's super easy so far, yeah? Now I'm gonna counterspin the thread to open it up to flatten it and to get it easier for the splitting. Now with my dubbing needle, I'm gonna try to flatten it even more until it becomes easy to split. This is very thin thread, so it's not so easy to split. You can always choose to make a dubbing loop as well. This is just a little bit faster, less bulky. So I have split my thread, and now I'm gonna take a little pinch of dubbing, squirrel dubbing, that I hold in a box, not in a bag, box, and I'll show you why. I just want to show you how I keep the dubbing so it makes more sense. It's in the, literally in the box, it's not compressed. It's very easy to pinch out, and as you can see, it's easy to dub because it's already kind of fluffed up. So when I get it from the box, it's already fluffy and it's super easy to insert. So I made it kind of lengthy. I can spread it out if I need, but you don't need too much. It looks much, but I'm gonna remove some of it and inhale probably as well. Okay, spin the bobbin holder. Okay, just remove the excess and you get relatively sparse dubbing noodle with nice spiky legs. And I'm gonna fill in the gap that you saw at the beginning, creating those nice little legs here. Remove the excess here. Now flatten the thread for the last moment, and that's whip finish. I also want to make it black. Okay, the black one goes nicely as a thorax. I already had a wing case cover that's made here with the black dot. The wing case cover is here. It's just the thread that was tied on, and again I made a dot with a marker and then I varnished everything with super glue. Now tighten everything, come inside with scissors, and that's nice buggy looking grayling nymph. Less legs you have, the more they will move in the water. Now let's just compare the two. As you can see, it's not a huge difference, but there is still a difference. The best effect, in my opinion, the best color for this application, waxed one, is probably something yellowish like this. So some silk that you wax and you get yellow, or some light colors, they get really nice shades. And yellow color, when it gets waxed, becomes very, very buggy looking like. I love it in late summer, early autumn, like end of the season in Serbia. It's great for summer, it's great for trout also, and I usually tie it on very small flies, so let's say 18, 20 or 22. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, keep safe and tight lines.